Hello everyone and welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel King's Cup. This is one of the two different tournament type series that I will have for Yu-Gi-Oh! On my channel going forward. The King's Cup will take place during the weekdays, so Monday through Friday somewhere, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, but it really depends on my work schedule for that week. Usually Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you have the Champions Cup, which is taking place during the weekends, which is right now on Tag Force 3 for the first season, and will be on Master Duel going forwards beyond that. However, the King's Cup will start and stay on Master Duel. Now, what is the King's Cup? The King's Cup will be a 20-person round-robin style tournament, or 20 different duelists representing 6 different anime series, video games, manga, and more, will fight to be crowned the King or Queen of Games. Each of these duelists will face one opponent per week. With there being 20 duelists, there will be 19 duels for them to have. This means this season will take at least 19 weeks to complete. All of these duels will be streamed on my Twitch channel, link in the description, with the VOD then being uploaded to YouTube in the following days. So those that have missed it, or missed a part of it, or can only watch on YouTube, will still be able to enjoy it. Throughout the series, you can look at the rankings. Let's say this character, oh, it's looking really good right now, it's currently ranked 2nd, but then maybe they lose 3 times and they go lower. I think it's a really interesting dynamic to look at it like that. You want that title to the King of Games. Now, who's participating in the first season? I've already decided on that. I have made their decks. I feel like I have an interesting mix of main characters, side characters, villains, unknown characters, manga, video game, and stuff like that. I would like to introduce them to you. The first 3 characters represent Duel Monsters, the first series of the anime. Representing Duel Monsters, he is one of the most famous characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. He is strong with spellcasters, warriors, and more. He is the current King of Games. He is Yami Yugi. Then, also representing Duel Monsters, she is the only character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime history appearing in most episodes of her series that has won all of her duels. She used to beat Joey again and again and again. She is the only female lead to never have had an on-screen duel with the lead character. She is Taya Gardner. Then, the third duelist representing Duel Monsters. He is a villain. He owns multiple torture-themed cards. And he made it to the Battle City Tournament Finals. He is Yami Merrick. Those will be the 3 characters representing the Duel Monster series. Let's give you just a little teaser for their decks. Yugi has used many different cards. However, oh, by the way, Yami Yugi and regular Yugi, I count them as separate characters. Regular Yugi is not in this King's Cup. Yami Yugi has had a lot of cards to choose from. For this King's Cup, he chose to focus on his one main trusted ally, the Dark Magician. He has a Dark Magician themed deck. However, knowing his opposition will be strong, he's also learned how to Link Summon. Look forward to that. Taya is a character that, yes, technically she's never lost, but she's also not really put into the same light as, let's say, a Yusei Fudo, a Yami Yugi, or Yami Merrick in terms of strength. However, she has absolutely learned to take her fairies to a high level. Her ace Sacred Arch Air Knight Parshath. Tea's playing counter fairies. And then, Yami Merrick is taking some of his torture cards, taking some of his burn cards, and we'll be playing a burn deck. Spearheaded by the monster he summoned against Joey, Lava Golem. Now let's move on to GX. 4 characters will be representing Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The first. He is a pro league duelist. He lost his father at a young age. He believes in his own destiny. He is Aster Phoenix. Next, also representing GX. He is Sartorius' lawyer. In the English dub, anyway. He outranks Aster Phoenix in the Pro League. Mentioned in the Japanese dub. He is undefeated in the Pro League. He is Howard X. Miller. Next. She is exclusive to the Tag Force series. She is an Obelisk Blue student. In Tag Force 1 and 3 anyway. Like 1 through 3. She reached the finals in the first 2 Champions Cup qualifier tournaments in the first season and won one of them. Meaning we will see her not just in the King's Cup but also in the Champions Cup in Season 1. She is Disa. The final person representing GX. She is a human, but also is not. She gained support for her archetype during the Arc 5 era of the anime. She is a member of the Shadow Riders. She is Tanya. Aster Phoenix, as you can expect, will be using his Destiny heroes. He already had Dogma, he now has Plasma with D-Force. And Destiny and Dragoon will be his ace. And if you've seen Aster Phoenix's, well, the Aster Phoenix version in the Arc 5 anime, there's a few support cards from there that he picked up as well. Next, Howard X. Miller did not exactly appear in many episodes. However, I felt like I wanted to include a few characters that appeared in 1, maybe 2 or 3 episodes. And I also wanted some with some more unique strategies. And Howard X. Miller stays true to his name, and is the only one in the King's Cup to play a mill deck. A deck meant to destroy the opponent. And Needleworm is his ace. Disa has come from Tag Force, and in that she uses a Monarch deck with some extra cards that help summon those cards like Spell Striker or maybe Treeborn Frog. While I have that exact deck in Master Duel as well, she has very much upgraded it for King's Cup. A very much upgraded Monarch deck with Erebus the Underworld Monarch at the head of it. But to stay true to her original Monarch deck from Tag Force 3, her ace there, Caius the Shadow Monarch, is in the deck as well. Then Tanya, the Amazonas player, has picked up a lot of the new support cards from the Arc 5 era. Amazonas Empress is now her ace monster. And I feel like with the support card she has, especially if she can get her trap card out, she is one to not mess with. Tanya's dangerous. Let's go to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. 3 characters will be representing this series. First, he is a signer. He is known as the Master of Faster. He has a burning soul. He is Jack Atlas. Next, he is a member of Iliaster. He is one of the few left-handed duelists. And he is the only member of Team 5Ds to never become a signer. He is the android Antinomy. And finally, he, at one point, owned 4 Signer Dragon cards. He was the original owner of the Dragon Head Signer Mark. And he is responsible for sabotaging the original NRD reactor. He is Roman Goodwin. No female from this series, however, we did have 2 representing GX, so I feel like that sort of evens itself out. Jack Atlas, as you can expect, has his resonators, has some dragons, has his Red Dragon Archfiend, but he's picked up quite a few extra versions and evolutions of his ace card. And you could say his ace right now is Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Antinomy, our tech genius, Axel Synchro teacher, mysterious character from the 5Ds anime, I think is really cool. He is back with Tech Genius, and with Tech Genius Halberd Cannon at the head of it. Then Roman Goodwin will use his spider deck, just like in the original anime. New support, some extra cards that you didn't see from him in the anime. But he also kept his Earthbound Immortal Uru. It'll be an interesting duel to see him against Jack. It was him against Yusei in the original anime, but Yusei's not in this season of the King's Cup. Perhaps in the future. By the way, I forgot to mention that at the start. The person who gets first place at the end of the season will be the King or Queen of Games. And then the bottom 5 or 10, I haven't decided the exact amount, will drop out of the King's Cup, make place for new duelists that partially I will choose and partially you, the viewers, will vote on. And choose yourself. And then the next season will feature those new characters, including the top ranking ones from this season. Let's move to the next series. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, with 4 characters representing this series. He is the current Asia Duel Champion. He used to play a Gravekeeper's deck before switching to his current deck. He was born with the name Thomas Arclight. He is Quattro. He is the champion of the Musashino Championship. He appeared in 1 anime episode. He is a big fan of Ultimate Baseball Kid. He is Tricky Tommy Noble. Next, she is a Pro League duelist. She had her only duel that was on screen and not a flashback was a tag duel. She has been under Barian control. She is Brooke Walker. And finally, representing Zexal, he was originally searching for number cards. He reached top 8 in the World Duel Carnival. He is the current champion of Spartan City. He is Nistro. Quattro, giving his fan service to everyone, will be using the gimmick puppets. And he will also be using his rank up magic Argent Chaos Force. So let's see if we will see Chaos number 88, Gimmick Puppet Disaster Leo, in action in the King's Cup. Tricky Tommy Noble. Only appeared in one anime episode, and the only monster known of him was Grapple Blocker. But according to his duelist profile, he liked to play an Ultimate Baseball Kid burn deck. I didn't give him a burn deck, but I gave him a fire deck with 3 copies of Ultimate Baseball Kid. The rest? Fire Fist. A Zexal era deck that might do very well here. Let's see how it'll pair up against everyone from the other series. Brooke Walker is a fun character, I think. One of the fun characters that might be my favorite one that got Barry and I's taken over from the Baryons. Use the Chaos XD's monster. Use her level 10. No, her partner's Sky Palace Gangaridai, and then she had the Chaos XD's. I tried to make a deck for that for her originally, but decided against it. Decided to use the archetype she used in a flashback. And gave her Mermail, more specifically Mermantian. So Merbilibus Megalo. Yeah, you'll see that. That and a lot more Merlantian cards. Nistro. Heroics for him. Heroic challengers, heroic champions. And there's one heroic champion that might be on the Forbidden and Limited list. But Nistro has it. Number 86. Heroic champion Rongo Miniad. Nistro has access to it, and he intends to unleash its full force. Let's go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, where we have 3 characters. He is a Pro League duelist. He is the father of a main character. And he is the founder of the Yusho Duel School. He is Yusho Sakaki. Next, he made it to round 2 in the Arc League Championship. He takes part in LDS's XC's summon course. And he uses my favorite archetype. So I kind of had to include him for Season 1. He is Dipper Orion. And finally, representing Arc 5, she is one of the Bracelet Girls. She is the only one of the Bracelet Girls that did not duel against Yuya. And she had all of her on-screen duels against Yugo. She is Rin. Yusho will be using his Performapals. And he will specifically use Performapal Sky Magician to dazzle everyone and make everyone smile and enjoy their duels. Dipper Orion, as mentioned before, uses Constellars. And my favorite card is his ace, Constellar Pleiades. I'm so looking forward to seeing this guy. I pretty much, almost exactly, gave him the Constellar deck that I had a good amount of years ago. Pretty much exactly. So if he does well, that's gonna make me feel so proud. I'm biased, I'll admit. I'm just 100% biased for this character. But in terms of the character, I quite like him, but his deck, he has my favorite archetype. Come on. Then we have Rin. She has the Wind Witch archetype. She will be making use of that again in this tournament. Her ace card is Wind Witch Diamond Bell. She has a lot more dangerous cards. She might have some of the most dangerous cards in the entire King's Cup. Oh, look forward to seeing Rin in action. Let's go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, where we have just one character representing the show. More could be added in future seasons, but for now, just one. She has used 3 different names for her Link Vrains avatar. She has partnered with an Ignis. And then not counting Tori from Zexal, who only lost and she only dueled once anyway, she has the least on-screen victories of all female lead characters. She is Blue Maiden. Now, Blue Maiden, as well, her character Blue Maiden used the Marincess deck. And before that, as Blue Angel and Blue Girl, she used the Trickstar. I decided to give her Trickstar. Perhaps Marincess for a qualifier tournament in Champions Cup, or in future seasons for King's Cup, perhaps. But for now, Blue Maiden will be using Trickstar. Trickstar Bella Madonna is her ace. Then we have two more characters who don't represent any series, but I did want to include. She is exclusive to the World Championship video games, specifically 09 through to 2011. So that's the 5Ds era. She has a different tag partner and boyfriend in each of those games. And she is the character I often tagged with in the tournaments of the main story of her games. She is Angie. And then finally, this slot used to be filled by Informates, the Legacy of the Duelist robot, and I gave him like a glitchy deck focused on Summon Skull and Mystic Tomato and some older cards with a really strong spell and trap lineup. Decided to scrap him. That was unintentional because he's robot. Because I didn't have a manga character yet. So, our final character for the King's Cup Season 1. She is a manga character. She is a teacher, and she is known as the Wicked Witch of Expel, after expelling 15 students over the course of 6 months. She is Miss Chono. And I absolutely love the deck. I built it from scratch, based on like 1 or 2 cards that she used in Dungeon Dice Monsters. Yeah. And 1 or 2 of the monsters there. I built it from scratch from there, and I love the few test duels I've had with her. First though, Angie always uses Dark attribute in the many decks that she has in the World Championship games, so I decided to give her a Dark archetype, but with some little support around it. She has Shadol. Shadol is an archetype I used to play competitively for some time, especially after its second wave of support. And the deck that I gave Angie for this King's Cup is similar to that. Similar to Shadol after its second wave of support. An El Shadol Construct is her ace card. Miss Chono, the one card I started with for her deck was the Snake Hair. I thought, nah, maybe like some of those early fusions with the Snake Hair. No, I wasn't going to go with that, but a few normal monsters, a few normal monster support cards, advanced ritual art, and suddenly she had an amazing ace in Blackluster Soldier, Legendary Swordsman. I love seeing that card in action. It's really fun how devastating that card can be. So that's it. That's the 20 characters you'll be seeing in the Master Duel King's Cup. Streams will be starting in a few days from now, first on Twitch, and the VODs will go up on YouTube shortly after. I'm extremely looking forward to this, seeing all these decks in action, all these decks that I've built, create our world with these characters. Which of the characters are you rooting for? Which of the ones are you expecting will become the king or queen of games? Which individual matchups are you looking forward to? Speaking of matchups, I'm okay with revealing what the matchups will be in round 1. In a few days, on stream, on Twitch, round 1 of the King's Cup Season 1 will take place. The matchups will be Howard X. Miller versus Jack Atlas, Tricky Tommy Noble versus Yusho Sakaki, Blue Maiden against Nistro, Taya Gardner against Yami Yugi. That's one from the same series. That's going to be interesting. Rin versus Antinomy. Synchro versus very different Synchro. Angie versus Disa. Two of the video game exclusive characters. Roman Goodwin versus Brooke Walker. Quattro versus Aster Phoenix. Yami Merrick against the teacher Miss Chono, who, according to her students, is very evil. So let's see who the most evil is out of the two of them. And finally, Tanya versus Dipper Orion. I think Taya versus Yami Yugi is a really interesting matchup, because they're from the same series, and Taya looks up to the Pharaoh and stuff. I think it's going to be really fun. I hope you're looking forward to it. Let me know which characters you're rooting for. And there will be predictions available on stream when you watch it live. Maybe you can get some extra channel points. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time, and make sure to always remember that you are worth it. Goodbye.